Hello Leo, and welcome to my channel, Siriana Tarot. This is going to be a reading for Leo Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs for the new moon in Scorpio. Now this reading will last for the whole period when the new moon enters Scorpio on October 27th, depending on where you are in the world, until November 26th when there's a new moon in Sagittarius. This spread is meant to identify your intentions for the upcoming cycle and show you what you need to learn and how you can manifest whatever it is you're trying to manifest. This spread, it's a 5-card spread where I'm going to pull oracle cards at the end. And the first card is going to tell us, where you are right now, and then what's blocking you, what intentions you should set, what information you need to, to manifest your intentions, and what positive energy will emerge during this phase. Now, this new moon in Scorpio is a time when we're really going to dig deep, and we're going to, dive deep into our emotions. People are going to desire meaningful emotional exchanges, so nothing really too superficial. Shadow relationships will just not be satisfying at all. There is a little caveat to this Scorpio new moon that it's going to be opposite Uranus, so it's going to be unpredictable and erratic, which means we should approach it with caution, patience, and flexibility. But let's not be all doom and gloom, because there's a lot of transformation that's going to be happening during this Scorpio season. And it might be a bit emotionally kind of heavy or weighted, especially if you are not a water sign or you don't have water in your chart. But, in the end, we're going to see some really positive transformations and changes for a lot of people. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into your reading, Leo. And I just wanted to ask that while I'm doing the reading, if you guys could go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, comment and share at the end of the video if that's something you like to do. Also, just to let you know, I have a giant bird here with me in the room. She has been screaming and acting up, so if you hear any weird noises or some shockingly loud noises, that's exactly what it is. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get into this reading, Leo. Okay, so the first card out here is the Hanged Man. And just FYI, I am not reading reversals. I don't read reversals in my new moon and full moon readings, but I normally read reversals in my daytime readings. So, or my daily reading, sorry. So the overall energy here is the Hanged Man. So you're kind of waiting to see what's going on. You're not taking a lot of action, although you have taken a very important step, and you're trying to sort of flip your perspective on this situation or on this period to see things in a different light, to maybe find some creative solutions from within about whatever it is that's going on in your lives. So the first card out is, where are you in your life right now? And this is the Knave of Swords. So I get that you're starting a new project, or you're starting a new course. You're gaining as much information as you can. You might be studying, you might be learning something new, a new practice. It could be in meditation, it could be in Reiki, it could be that you're going back to school. Okay, but this is the Knave of Swords is an amazing student and someone who who's very, very, very organized, very, very, very industrious, and he's in the pursuit of knowledge. Also, this can refer to communications. This is somebody who's very direct in their communications when this is in the upright, and they can be a bit blunt, so they don't really sugarcoat anything, and some people can take offense to that. Okay, and then when this card shows up in the reverse, the energy here is that communications aren't very direct, and it could indicate you're getting messages that are going to be very important via text or social media, things that come in very, very quickly. Sometimes it might be something that you don't want to hear as well, or it could be that you are spying on someone or someone is spying on you. There is a lot of different interpretations here with the Knave of Swords, which is air energy, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. Okay, so tell me which ones resonate with you. Okay, and we'll see a little bit clearer as we get more and more into this reading. The second card out is what is blocking you from growing and what do you need to leave behind. Here we have the Knave of Wands, and this Knave of Wands, it could represent a person. It's Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius energy, and this is somebody who's very creative, who's very flamboyant, who's very out there, who's saying, this is who I am, this is what I want to do. This is someone who's ready to travel, who doesn't really want to be stuck in one place. The only problem, or the only sort of warning with the Knave of Wands, is that there's not a lot of preparation involved. So being too impulsive, it's kind of the opposite of this Knave here. So again, you might be a parent dealing with two children who are very different. It could also represent two aspects of yourself. But the Knave of Wands energy here is all about, making sure that you have a plan in place. Okay, this is, being too impulsive and not making sure that you have a plan in place can really cause this Knave to lose self-confidence and sort of take the fire out from underneath him if he runs up to any sort of criticism and obstacles. So we have these two differing energies here. So maybe it's that you're somebody who's very black and white about this and you need to employ a little bit more creativity in what you're doing, or the opposite, or you're a little bit too impulsive and you have to, and you have to go back to the planning stages and be a little bit more logical, a little bit more black and white about this issue. Again, with these two Knaves, it could represent children or two younger energies. So maybe you're dealing with those two energies as well, okay? The third card out is what intentions should you set in order to grow? In the Four of Pentacles, this is all about finances. This is also all about holding on to things. Now, this is a very, very strong foundation. You can see this man has a very nice life, but you can see the colors are a little bit gray and he isn't able to share his life with anyone because he spent his whole life amassing money and neglecting his personal relationships. So again, this is you holding on to too much, okay? So really it's important to pay attention to, your relationship with giving and receiving, okay? Then think of the world as, this is a card that's sort of like tithing, right? And think of the world as your church. Now, it doesn't mean you have to overgive, but give 10%, okay? And it doesn't necessarily have to be financial giving either. It could just be energy, but you do need to give in order to receive. And those of you who are working with law of attraction, okay, or trying to attract more abundance or more, or more work or more love or whatever, or more health into your life, you do have to give to the universe before the universe gives back to you. And the universe will give back tenfold. Okay, so the intentions you need to set could be also about putting money in the bank, having having stability, but it could also be that you're holding on too much, and that holding on is making you feel a little bit lonely, a little bit isolated, a little bit sick. And I'm getting it could be, it could be giving you problems with your head. You might be having chest pains, you might be having stomach pains, and that sort of thing as well. Okay, so the next card out is what knowledge do you need to gain in order to, manifest your intentions? And this is the Five of Cups. And the Five of Cups is all about disappointment and all about sorrow. And this is about, you're looking longingly to the past, to something that you've lost, and you're kind of being absorbed by it, and you're not seeing that you have these blessings in your life. So emotionally, Leo, you're too focused on something that was a loss, okay, and you're not focused enough on actually the blessings that you have. And I'm getting here that it's really important here that you need to, that you really need to practice or start incorporating more gratitude into your daily practice. Now, I'm not saying that you're not grateful, but there's something about this situation that you're overlooking. Okay, something you're holding on too much to, maybe something negative rather than the positive in the situation. And I get that that's really causing a block for you, or may cause you a block, okay? Remember, we did just go through the Aries full moon, and that was a lot of past disappointments and hurts with relationships. And some of those feelings may have come up and surfaced and may have been uncomfortable when they came out. Now, the objective there with the full moon in Aries was to heal it, so deal with those issues and then clear those issues. And I'm getting that some of you may not have been able to do that or started that process. okay? And that's something that you're really going to work through here in this Scorpio period and make that sort of transformation and healing. Yes. And just as I'm saying that, as I'm saying healing, we have the Temperance card coming out. And the Temperance card is a reminder that you are divinely guided, that you have your angels, your ancestors, your loved ones who have passed, and your spirit guides who are helping you along this journey. But also that this is a card about balance. It's about spiritual alchemy. It's about achieving a balance, and it's also about healing, okay? And it's also about taking any sort of excess, so excess in emotions, any heated reactions, and really like taming them down so you find a middle road. And sometimes it's not acting at all. So I love the fact that the Temperance card came out with the Hanged Man, because, you know, sometimes the best action, the Temperance card says the best action is no action at all. And I'm getting that maybe right now for my Leos, the best way to work through this scorpionic energy and this new moon period that's also coupled with Mercury in retrograde, which can be a little bit complicated as well, is to not really do anything, to sit back and watch. Kind of like a Scorpio does. You know, Scorpions enter a room and they're on the wall. Okay, they posture themselves so they can see everything, and then they kind of sit tight until they decide what their next move is, which for a Leo might seem a little bit secretive, but that's the energy that you're up against here. And probably the best energy the best way to fight fire with fire is during this Scorpio season, is to do that exactly. Just hold on one second. Okay, my apologies, Leos. I just had she's been cutting up all morning. So this is the third time I'm trying to do your reading, so I'm not going to let anything stop me now. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and pull some oracle cards here for you and see what other energies Leo will be dealing with during Scorpio season. Ooh, yes, the thinking man. Again, there's this non-action. Okay, so it's not about taking action necessarily during this time, my dear Leo. It's more about that planning, that strategy, really sort of evaluating what's going on. And if you take a look here, I mean, look at, he's sitting there thinking and brooding. The Hanged Man is sort of sitting around thinking and brooding. The Five of Cups, he's thinking and brooding. And here we have him looking at it, taking a different perspective, but also not really acting, just sort of planning. And somehow this has got you all tied up. So you're going to feel like you're not going to take some action, even though this Knave of Swords is a very action-oriented, and so is the Knave of Wands. But I'm getting, because the Knave of Wands came out in your past position, that now is not the time to take action. And even though you are an action-oriented person, okay, there's some blocks that need to be cleared, and something really needs to be planned and very well thought out at the moment, okay? And here we have community coming out for you. All right, so I get that's very, you know, I think you're very normally very, very social. Okay, yeah, okay, very interesting. So normally Leos are very, very social creatures, and I think it's a little bit hard for you to pull back, but I feel like you guys are going to really go inward during this Scorpio season, and you know, because you need to figure something out. You need to figure out, you know, what you need to find, some sort of balance that you're lacking. I love the fact that this contract card comes out on top of the Temperance card, which is all about balancing. It's about blending, spiritual alchemy. It's the material and the spiritual. Okay, it's emotions and actions and trying to find the middle ground. All right, and I'm getting with this 6, with this contract card, it's all about you finding that middle ground. All right, so Leo, I'm just going to go ahead and pull one final card for you. All right, and here we have she who enfolds, swathe, embrace, and self-care. So that makes complete sense, Leo. This is a time during Scorpio energy, you're not gonna be feeling like your normal celebratory social self. Because there's something that's really bothering you and something that you really have to go inward, okay? Because you're feeling all tied up. You're feeling like you can't be out there. You're feeling like, even though you're an action-oriented person and you're a planner and things like that, that you can't really move right now, that you have to sort of be quiet and you have to see something from a different perspective. Now, it could be a love relationship, it could be a job, it could be any sort of project, but right now is the time to swathe, embrace, and self-care. So really sort of what you're going to do is like you're circling the wagons, you're going inward, okay, and you're going to be focusing on self-care and figuring out this situation. So not a lot of action for you guys, Leo, during Scorpio season. That's the best course of action, is maybe finding a middle road or basically not acting at all, but just sort of, and it's, hunkering down, doing some shadow work. Okay, a lot of people have been doing shadow work, and I think that's really important for you guys to be doing, analyzing, okay, what's right, what's wrong, and maybe some things that trigger you, and then how you can get out of this energy, okay? Because I'm getting that you're worried about maybe being alone too much, or there's a relationship, or there's some sort of social activity or relationship or happiness here is at stake. Okay, my dear Leo, so please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, comment and share if you like to do, and I do apologize about all of the interruptions, and remember that I love you all, and I hope you guys have a beautiful Scorpio new moon.